All right, good afternoon. I'd like to call the caucus meeting to order for July 13th. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Brock, this meeting was advertised in compliance with the South Carolina Freedom of Information Act.
Yes, ma'am, it was.
Okay, we have two council members on Zoom, Councilman Dawson and Vice Chairman Tabernack. I'd like to entertain a motion for approval of the agenda.
So moved.
All right, thank you, Councilman Passament. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
A second by Councilman Larson. Okay, all in favor of approval of the agenda by show of hands? And that is unanimous. Thank you. Number 5 on the agenda is council member discussion. Do we have anything for that today? I don't see anything. All right, at this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to go into executive session for the following things. Let me read through these. A is under South Carolina Code, Section 30-4-70A2, legal advice related to discussion of negotiations incident to pending litigation or other matters covered by attorney-client privilege. Beaufort County versus Hatcher Holdings LLC, proposed road litigation. B, under South Carolina Code, Section 30-4-70A2, legal advice related to discussion of negotiations incident to pending litigation or other matters covered by attorney-client privilege, which is Beaufort County versus Nick's Construction regarding the animal shelter litigation. C, under South Carolina Code 30-4-70A2, legal advice related to discussion of negotiations incident to proposed contractual arrangements and proposed slate of purchase of property, Beaufort County acquisition right-of-way along Ladies Island Middle School area. D, under South Carolina Code, Section 30-4-70A2, legal advice related to discussion of negotiations incident to pending litigation or other matters covered by attorney-client privilege, Mark Schaefer versus Cersei's Environmental Services, subject wrongful death litigation. E, under South Carolina Code, Section 30-4-70A2, discussion of negotiations incident to proposed contractual arrangements, stormwater system improvements on Ladies Island. And F, under South Carolina's Code Section 30-4-70A1, to engage in discussions incident to employment, appointment, compensation, promotion, demotion, discipline, or release of a person regulated by a public body. We have a motion?
So moved.
Councilman Passman, and a second? A second by Councilman Glover. All in favor of going into executive session for the aforementioned items? That is unanimous. We will go into the other room, and there may be matters arising out of executive session. Thank you. delay, but we do have some items coming out of executive session. I have the first one we'll start with is Hatcher Holdings.
Yes, I'd like to make the motion. I move that council not approve the proposed relocation of Prospect Road as proposed as options 1 or 2 and as discussed in executive session as part of a potential settlement agreement.
Do we have a second?
A second, Madam Chairman.
A second by Councilman Glover. Any discussion? All in favor? Signify by sign of hands. All right. And that passes unanimously. The second one is a motion for Beaufort County and Nick's Construction.
Yes, I would make the following motion. It's Beaufort County versus Nick's Construction et al. I move that County Council approve the settlement offer proposed by the defendants in the litigation related to the Beaufort County versus Nick's Construction et al., and that they authorize the county administrator and county attorney to execute all legal documents to effectuate a settlement of the case and dismissal of the lawsuit.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
A second by Councilman Cunningham. All in favor? Or any discussion? No discussion. Okay. All in favor? All right, and that is unanimous. All right, next is a motion for Beaufort County acquisition of right-of-way on Ladies Island near Ladies Island Middle School.
Yes, ma'am. I move that council authorize the county administrator be authorized to negotiate in accordance with the terms as discussed in executive session and execute all necessary documents related to acquisition of the parcel known as Tract 15 on Ladies Island Middle School right-of-way project.
Do we have a second?
A second.
A second by Councilman Glover. All in favor signify by raising your hand. That is- Okay. A motion for Mark Schaefer versus Cersei's Environmental Services.
Madam Chairman, I'd like to move that the council authorize county council's outside legal counsel to send a letter to the defendants and their insurance carrier requesting that they settle the case pursuant to the existing insurance policies pursuant to the settlement demand letter, which was recently received.
Okay, do we have a second to Councilman Glover's motion?
So moved.
Councilman Bassament made the motion. All in favor? Made the second. All right, and that is unanimous. Next is a motion for stormwater system improvements on Ladies Island, a due diligence.
Yes, Madam Chair. I move that council authorize the administrator to conduct an engineering study to determine whether it is feasible or cost-effective to enter into a proposed stormwater project agreement and acquire property for stormwater purposes as proposed by Brickyard Commons.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Glover, second. Any discussion? All in favor? And that passes unanimously. Is there any other business coming out of executive session? All right, seeing none at this time, we are adjourned out of executive session and we'll move into our regular county council meeting. All right, tonight, I'd like to call the meeting to order, and I have the invocation, so please, for the meeting of our July 13th meeting, so please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and stand for the invocation. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Tonight, I'd like to say something about a person that we all knew, politics aside. He was our senator. And I've got two quotes. This is not what I planned for the invocation, but I think many of us woke up Sunday morning in shock. This is a quote from Senator Graham. He said, "I've got the best job in the world, being a senator from the United States, a senator from South Carolina in the United States Senate, representing South Carolina in the United States is a dream job for me, but the world is literally falling apart. and we can't get anything done here at home. So that drives my thinking more than anything else. And then our other Senator, Tim Scott, said yesterday, I don't know another person who spent their entire adult life for one purpose, to make sure America remains the safest country on the planet to live. Scott added, I think of his sister and I think of America, and there would be two major ingredients for Lindsey Scott's family, that he was just committed to our country. And as many of you know, he adopted his sister because his parents both died, and he was a big supporter of Social Security because he saw what it meant to people. I'd like for all of us to have a moment of silence and respect for Senator Lindsey Graham. Thank you. Amen. Okay, Ms. Brock, is this meeting in compliance with our FOIA?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Thank you. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the agenda as
So
published.
moved.
Thank you, Councilman Bassman and Councilman Cunningham. We have one set of minutes, two minutes from a special called county council meeting, January 20th, is that right? And then also May 19th, and county council meeting June 22nd.
So moved.
All right, thank you, Councilman Bassman. Second by Councilman Logan Cunningham. All in favor? That is unanimous. We do have,
Madam Chair,
yes.
can you do a vote on approval of the agenda, please?
Oh, sorry, okay. I missed it, sorry. We need a vote on the, we had a motion and a second. All in favor of approval of the agenda? That is unanimous. We have two of our members on Zoom tonight, Councilman Gerald Dawson and Councilman Larry McKellen. All right, we have presentation, administrator's report.
Good evening, Madam Chair and Council. Tonight we have an employee recognition. Daniel Drudy for solid waste attendant at the Bluffton Convenience Center. I believe he's here. So it's my pleasure to recognize Daniel for his heroic actions and commitment to public service. On June 12, 2026, while working at the Bluffton Convenience Center, Mr. Drudy responded immediately to a life-threatening emergency involving a Young County resident who happens to be with us here tonight, Chaz, and his family is here in the front row. Recognizing the severity of the situation, he took swift and decisive action by applying a tourniquet to control significant bleeding and contacted emergency medical services, EMS, for immediate assistance. His quick thinking, composure under pressure, and willingness to act in a moment of crisis were instrumental in preserving the life of the individual involved. His actions exemplify the highest standards of public service and demonstrate an extraordinary commitment to the safety and well-being of Beaufort County residents. Through his courage, professionalism, and selfless service, Mr. Drudy made a profound difference in a critical situation and serves as an outstanding example of the values upheld by Beaufort County employees. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Do I have to say certain things? Good evening, council. Thank you. And thanks, Dan. And that was awesome. Just a kid trying to make a couple bucks and you just saved the day. Yeah. All right. Cool. That's all. I don't know. All right. Cool. Thanks.
I guess he's your hero, right? Thank you. Would any of the other family members like to say anything?
Everybody can hear it online.
Yeah, I just would like to say I'm Chaz's dad, Mike Brickstock, and I appreciate you being in the right place at the right time to save my kid, and we're just forever grateful. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Yes, sir.
picture?
I want you to take a picture. Go ahead, yeah.
When are you going to get that off your arm? Do you know? Chad, do you know when you get that off your arm?
They said before.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right, if you guys like want like a super detailed story, so basically I cut everything in my wrist. They call it like spaghetti wrist, pretty much. So like I severed my radial artery, so like blood flow was like my hand was looking all like stupid, and then nerves, tendons, the whole nine pretty much was cut. So yeah, it's tons of PT and tons of like unfortunate days, but like take that over not having a hand and not having my life. So that's cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Madam Chair, with that, that's all I have for tonight, subject to any questions you may all have, any of you have.
Questions for our administrator?
For being here. Great job.
This is, thank y'all so much for coming tonight. Appreciate it. Okay. Okay. All right, next on the agenda is the recognition of a check, Operation Patriots. John Rimbaugh?
I'd like to call up my team first, as well as we've got a couple of special guests here from OpFob. And so, Stephanie, if you come up with your husband, JR, the two of you guys. As you know, we out at Beaufort Executive Airport, we hold the Flying Frog 5K, now 5K and 10K each year.
Okay.
And this year, we had the most runners we've ever had. We had 175 runners participate in the event. Part of that might have been the fact that we added the 10K, but I think the real reason behind it was the cause that we chose to support. We wanted to support something that probably all of us know about, the OpFob out in Ridgeland. And I met JR a couple years ago at a chamber board meeting. And I think what they do out there is truly transformational. Talk about a life-saving experience here in the front row. Well, these folks are doing it every day out there at OpFob. So we're very thankful that they're here. We're honored to be able to support them in a very small way. We're glad that their presence kind of boosted our event, which was fabulous. And we look forward to that again next year. But we've kind of chosen to adopt them, I guess, as our cause. So many of us at the airports are veterans, and so we really do. We love what they do, we support what they do, and we just want to be, a little part of their team. So we do have a little check that we want to present. So why don't you guys come up front or wherever the best camera angle is. But we were able to raise through the runners sign up $5,000 in support of OpFob. So we're very glad. Hope this is just the beginning of a long-standing relationship. The county administrator participated in the 10K, so thank you for doing that. And Tab's not here tonight, but she volunteered out of the race too.
Right,
So
she did.
thank you for county council and senior administration for being involved. I think it's a great cause. And again, we look forward to many more years ahead. So, and we'll let you guys say something too about your organization if you would. But first, we just want to present you with that check, so we'll get some good photos there. Brandon, get up in there. Where you go, Steve?
I'd just like to thank Beaufort County for the continued support of Operation Patriots Fob. Since I have the mic, I don't know if a lot of people know, but on average, we're losing over 22 veterans a day to suicide. I spent 3 years in Iraq. I've lost 31 guys that I served in Iraq with 2 suicide. So my wife and I came up with the idea to create a place for like-minded individuals, active duty, first responders, veterans, and their families to come together to build that community and that tribe so they can lean on each other when times get tough. to date, our anniversary, 6-year anniversary is coming up. To date, we've had over 55,000 visits to our facility, and we haven't lost anybody to suicide that's come through that gate. And it's because of the support of people like you. So thank you all very much for the continued support.
Thank you. Yeah.
Guys, if you have never seen what they do out there, take a weekend, go out there, see what they're doing. That I can tell you, 2 of my friends have gone through your guys' operation. One of them still works with you guys now, so I want to thank you guys very much. Thank you all.
And if you're a veteran or first responder, come out and check us out.
Thank you. Okay, now we go on to public comment. We have one person signed up. I'd like to remind the public that every member of the public who's recognized to speak shall limit their comments to 3 minutes.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
we're not hearing you online.
Okay. You can't hear
We're not
any?
hearing you.
Okay, you can't hear anything. All right. We need some help with that. Larry, can you hear us? No, okay.
Very little.
I don't think it's this microphone, but. Can you hear now?
Yeah.
That's a little louder.
We could hear the guest speakers from their podium, but we've lost your volume somehow.
All right, let's try this. Can you hear now, please? No?
It's very low.
All right.
Let's try somebody else's microphone, see if
Can you hear me?
This is the second microphone.
Can you hear me?
It's the same, Joe. It's all very low.
How about now? Low?
It's pretty much the same.
Low.
All low.
We'll struggle through it, right? Right, Gerald?
Yeah, go ahead, carry on.
Okay, I'd just like to remind the public, you have 3 minutes.
That's better.
You'll address the chairman. And in speaking, avoid disrespect to council and any personalities. Confine yourself to questions under the jurisdiction of council. Be mindful and respectful of those who are present and others who may be watching on television. We only have one person to sign up tonight, Robert Alexander. And if you'll just say your name.
Good evening. My name is Robert Alexander. I didn't realize the room would be so empty tonight. You can't miss us. A couple of captains that are here. Just wanted to voice our support with the ordinance as it is currently written. We think it's a good ordinance for what we have at the boat ramps, and just wanted to voice our support for that and kind of push it along. Hope we can vote on that this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Going with our agenda, we have community liaison and committee reports. Tab is already offline. York, do you have anything to report from Beaufort Jasper Sewer Water Authority?
Oh, no, not at this time, madam.
Okay.
I think I reported it last time, and there's an upcoming ribbon cutting at Alljoy.
At Alljoy? That,
Right.
is that
22nd.
22nd.
22nd? Okay,
Yes.
great. I have nothing to report from Beaufort Memorial Hospital at this time. Defusky Island Fire District, Mark.
Nothing to report.
Design Review Board, Ms. Brown?
Yes, we had a meeting last Thursday, and I'm sure all of you are aware of the gas station on 278, Mine District, right there by the bridge. And they came with a new design, but it was tabled. They wanted the roof changed and a few other things changed. So they asked the owner to go down to the island to Sea Turtle Marketplace and look at the Parker's gas station there. And then across the street, I understand there's another gas station, to look at that one to see how they designed it. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, moving along, thank you for that. Would anyone like to report on the Low Country COG meeting that was held about 2 weeks ago? You and I were there, and
Yeah.
we had a report from DOT, and that was about it. Like, yeah.
And we did evaluate the
The director's
The director.
evaluation was started, it's 6
started,
months.
Right. Yes.
Northern Regional Plan, anyone like to report on that? They did meet. That was an excellent program regarding heirs property that was held. Mr. Councilman Cunningham, anything from Parks and Rec?
Yeah, they met last Thursday. I was unable to attend, but I did get the notes and met with a couple of members afterwards. They reported some of the soccer and baseball numbers. Soccer is up again. Baseball and softball are also up, and they are completely maxed out south of the Broad currently in all three sports. And then adult leagues look like they're minimizing the time frames because there's not enough ball fields currently. So I would recommend, again, I know we had the conversation about the soccer fields over there, and I know the long-term goal is to also get some sort of baseball/softball complex. So hopefully that's something we can continue to move on and get ironed out by the end of this year as well.
Okay, there's nothing to report from the Planning Commission. I don't think, Councilman Glover. And Soloco, I have nothing to report from them unless somebody else, I wasn't able to attend it, but Tab did. Did you go, Joe? Soloco? Okay.
Madam Chairman, I would just say that the Planning Commission did meet on Thursday. Unbeknownst to me, I was not aware of that because they normally meet on a Monday. But they did have two items, a text amendment, and I would get with Mr. Merchant to find out what happened there to see whether we need to bring forward.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other reports? I know several of us attended the Hilton Head special call council meeting on Thursday morning. That was a long meeting, but very interesting.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Also,
I did.
I'd like, at this time, we're on item number 10. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve a consent agenda. There's one item on the consent
moved.
agenda. Thank
Second.
you. All right. All in favor? That is unanimous. The second was done by Councilman Passament. Thank you. All right, moving into our regular agenda. Item 11A is recommend approval to fund due diligence and negotiate terms of acquisitions for the following proposed green space program applications: John Farm 1, 2, and 3, and the Grid Properties Track. And I think Mark Davis is going to present, correct?
Good evening. Yes, we are here for, one of the things, just to clarify, this is only for due diligence approval. Y'all are used to sometimes with council, full level approval for funding. This is a part of the new process for the ordinance where due diligence comes to you for approval and not the Natural Resources Committee. So I just want to clarify.
Councilman Dawson, can you hear us now? Okay.
In order to have the discussion, I will make the motion.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good. All right. Thank you. We have a motion by Councilman Bassament and a second by, who was the second? Mark.
Awesome.
All right. And now we can have discussion and presentation. Thank you.
So these were recommendations that came from the June 12th Green Space Advisory Committee meeting. We have two new applications that are being requested and were recommended by the committee to proceed with due diligence. The first one you see here on the screen is referred to as John Farm 1, 2, and 3. It comprises of approximately 148 acres. You can see approximately where it is. It's a very recognizable geographic region, unless anybody has any questions on that.
Question?
This would be a farm, as you can see there, it's a farmland preservation. And this is one of our application types. It's one of our focus procurement types. And it is currently primarily an active working farm with soils that are recognized as good growing soils. And this is an application to put a conservation easement on them. The property owners would remain the owner, and we would essentially be protecting existing working lands as a part of a conservation easement.
Where is that located?
Any questions? Yes, sir. Coffin Point.
Off point.
Coffers Point.
Yeah, that's a little bit more, yeah. Mr. Glover, if you're on the second map, it's kind of when you're heading out on Sea Island. There's a little bit of a zoom in. You can kind of see the land use pattern there as with the existing agricultural uses that are occurring.
What's-
reason you see 1, 2, and 3, and the applicant is here, is that there's technically, for the purposes of it, there's going to be 3 easements on it. It's the same owners, but for the purposes of the way the family is set up, they just want to have 3 separate easements. But in totality, it's going to be 148 acres.
Each easement will have its own conditions, in other words? Okay. Any other questions about this one?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am?
How much is this?
148 acres.
How much, what's the cost? What's the,
Oh, this is just for due diligence right now.
just to do due diligence?
Yes, yeah, so
See the
this-
value.
Is this land under the CPO?
Yes.
So why are we putting in conservation? It's already on the CPO, right?
It is.
No, we've had past ones, just last year, where they put it in conservation and then somehow they got out of conservation and created a, resort. Yeah.
No, don't get
Yes,
it
they
confused
did.
now.
How about the
Don't
wedding
get that
resort?
confused.
That was in conservation, right? And now it's out of conservation and now it's a wedding resort. And you're looking at me like you don't know what I'm talking
I
about.
don't.
Well,
I don't. So, unless
and
somebody
then
else
there's the
knows, I'm gonna-
RV resort that's going in. So I'm voting no for this.
This is for due diligence.
I know. I'm voting no.
By right, how many houses could be built on it?
So on 148 acres, it's primarily zone T2R, which is 1 unit per 3 acres, 3 net acres. So, I always tell. It's-
49.
Yeah.
Any other questions about this one?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm all for due diligence just to see what we're looking at here, but I do have the same question. If it's already under some type of protection overlay, then why are we going to spend more tax dollars to preserve something that's already restricted to 49 homes? So, I don't know what the cost is. I don't know if it's a couple $100,000. I don't know if it's a couple million. So I'm fine with the due diligence just to see, to let that play out, to see what we're actually working with, to get all the facts. But I would say that those questions are probably going to come when this comes out of due diligence, if it is recommended to come back to county council, because we have to make the dollars make sense. It's a big difference between 450 units on 3 acres on Hilton Head and 49 acres on 150 acres. So it's just something we have to take into consideration. But I would just say be prepared for that when it does come back to council. But I am all for the due diligence of it.
Any other comments?
Yeah,
Yes, sir?
Madam Chairman, let me say that the CPO has been in existence, so there's been the cultural protection overlay on St. Helena, and there have been many acreage of land under conservation over the years. So this will be almost the same, not almost, this will be the same thing that has been done under the Rural and Critical Land Program, because we bought conservation easements on property. It basically preserved that property. I think the Charles Henry Farm is under conservation easement. And so there's many other tracts of land similar to what you're presenting here, as far as I'm concerned, unless there's something different.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
out on this island, that's the second one, but out in St. Helena.
Yeah, this is
Missouri,
nothing
there's a lot
new
of
for
conservation
St.
easements.
Helena, even under the CPO. This is nothing new.
And to add to it, Logan, and I can respect that, this is also, while we look as a part of this program, we look at taking rooftops off. This is a farmland preservation procurement. These are prime soils. It also looks to identify things and protect those. So that's a working farm, and this is a farmland preservation conservation easement. So I'm just throwing that.
Understood?
Okay. Yes, sir.
I just want to thank y'all for having some properties come forward that are out there in our neck of the woods. We appreciate it.
Finally, something going to the broad.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. We appreciate it.
Okay, do you want to,
Thank you, David.
we'll take separate votes on each of these, so is there any other questions about this one? All right.
It's one agenda item, isn't it?
It's one agenda item, but
Vote them separately, yeah.
I think we should vote on them separately. Do we need to make a motion to vote on them separately?
To
All right,
amend it. And
let's
since I made
amend-
the motion, I will amend to split the 2 properties.
And
Bifurcate. And I'll second that.
okay, let's vote on separating the vote. All in favor of separating the vote on these two properties? All right, and that passes. So At this time, we can take the vote. We'll have a roll call vote. Well, let's go on to the next one, then we'll vote on them. Is that work?
We're going to vote on the one now. We
Yeah,
just
gotta vote this
said
one
we
now.
were going to,
Okay, all right. Okay, that sounds right. Thank you. I appreciate that, Councilman Passman. We need a roll call vote.
Councilmember Passman,
yes.
Councilmember Lawson,
Mark Lawson, yes?
Councilmember Reeds,
Yes.
Councilmember McGillen,
Yes.
Councilmember Glover,
Yes.
Councilmember Dawson,
Yes.
Councilmember Cunningham,
Yes.
Councilmember Brown,
No.
Councilmember Bartholomew,
Yes.
Chair Howard.
Yes,
The motion passes 9-1.
okay. We'll go on to the next one.
So the next property, again, come from the same meeting, the Green Space Advisory Committee meeting on June 12th for a recommendation to pursue due diligence. This is a new application, again, coming to you all for that consideration. This one should be very recognizable to everybody as you probably drive past it probably 1,000 times in your lifetime.
Port Royal?
Maybe Zoom, can you go to the other one? I just want to make sure everybody understands the one that's a zoom up of the property, but as you are crossing the Broad River, this would be on your left side heading into. Yep. Sure. On the left side as you're heading into Port Royal. So that's the location of this property, north of the Broad, David. And this particular, there you go. So that's very recognizable. That should be easily identified again by everybody. This is an application that was submitted to the county directly by the landowner. It's a fee simple application. This particular application, as it was submitted, would result in the county being the purchaser of the property, the owner of the property, which would require some type of passive park, some type of public access component. So we would weigh that as a part of our due diligence, as a part of our process of doing that. You can see the location of it. It does have access to the traffic light right there, which is very important for safety. And we've had those conversations, and that was discussed during our green space meeting. And so I just want to let everybody know that that's this application, how it came in. This is for due diligence, and we would just start working that if council authorizes us.
Discussion?
Logan.
Questions? Yes.
Yeah, obviously, this is prime real estate, so two questions would be, one, is there already a ballpark number on this? I mean, that's prime real estate. So there has to be something out there already that the seller's asking.
I mean, this is for due diligence, but I can answer any questions right now if you want to ask me.
And then my other question would be, I'll let that slide for now because it's probably on MLS. My other question would be, what is the current zoning of this property, and is the owner of this property the developer of the residential community behind it?
It is not. It was a portion, my understanding, keep in mind, where this is for us to go into due diligence. So we kind of get into it a little bit, but not as deep until we come back. But for what we've looked into now and the questions that we've asked and the answers we've been given by the owners, this is a separate piece from that back portion that was done by a developer. This is not a part of that development. Different owner. I think it was the same family at one time, but not the same type of development. So this piece was left out of it. There currently is a small little house right there. You can kind of see on the left side and a garage. So we would be looking at if the county was to pursue this and we wanted to turn this into a passive park in this location, which we don't have a lot here. And as a part of our staff working, we work with our land preservation, our passive park department as we work towards these things, even up to this point.
And there's a fishing pier there, too.
It is. So this
Not-
also is a part of, too, on Robert Smalls. If you kind of come up with the light and you go down, you can see we have the Broad River Boat Landing Fishing Pier right down there. So the way we're kind of looking at it is you've got a county asset, you could have this. And there is some room possibly, if you look at the little land and you look at the edge, beautiful views out there on the property. I don't want to say this, but there possibly could be some opportunity to expand on a passive park with some unbelievable, amazing views. I would say second to none. Sunsets that would.
Chairman, a question.
Yes. Go ahead, Councilman Kell.
Could you comment on the proximity of that land and how important it is that we have that road there that leads to the fishing pier?
You talking about the road that gives access to the property and has access to the light?
And to the fishing pier?
Yes, it is. It's kind of like a road that comes off of the bridge. It's not a part of the bridge. It's off of the bridge. It's a side secondary road that allows for safe ingress and egress to the piece as well as the pier, which then takes you to a traffic light.
The other property in that area does not have that kind of access to that road, does it? It has to go out. I think there was another property on the other side of the bridge that did not give us that access to the fishing pier, which would need to be very.
Yeah, Larry, that's the one that you all deferred, and we have that coming back at your Friday's meeting for further discussion.
Right.
Any other questions, comments?
Madam Chairman,
Yes, sir.
this property here is next to properties that are being excavated now for like a development.
Yeah, you can see it. See the piece right behind it? See all those white lines?
Yeah,
That's a development that's about to go up. That was this, so this
That's the property that's been
this property,
cleared?
These pieces are within the town of Port Royal. They're annexed by the town. And so there you go. You can see the lot pattern there. That will be a development. If you drive by, you've probably watched that getting developed for the last year and a half. So they've got pads up. They're probably going to, yes.
Go ahead.
No, is that apartment complexes going in, or is that?
I think they'll be singles.
So-
It looks like they're-
Single-family
yeah.
homes?
Yeah, it looks like it's platted for singles. Again, the Port Royal did the
Oh, I know, yeah.
entitlements. I've never seen the plat or the plan, but just from the pattern, it looks like it's.
Any other comments or questions?
Yeah, do we know the price for due diligence?
We're requesting 25,000.
Who's doing the due diligence?
So
Up to 25,000.
up to 25. So as the way that works is this is applied to us. So the county, if somebody's selling something to us, we would be the contract purchaser. We're not granting funds here. We would be purchasing the property. We would do all of it as the county in that scenario.
Do we know what the current zoning is on it right now?
Yeah, it's got it's zoned, again, it's Port Royal zoning, but it's similar to our T4 open. If you all are familiar with the counties, our T4 neighborhood open, that T4N, and then it has the open, which allows some of that commercial and retail component. And that's what it's zoned in the town. So it could allow for numerous amounts of commercial development.
Probably the most dense the town has, if it's similar to T4.
Yeah, it's thick zoning. It would allow for similar stuff you see there, but and also some uses regarding commercial uses.
Any other questions or comment? Yes, go ahead.
Just one final comment. While we don't have a price established yet, because that'll be part of the due diligence, the owner has indicated to us, once the price is established, he'll be donating a portion of the project back to us as a gift from the owner.
I can, if it's a part of the, Logan, your question, and again, I always ask the same question when people first reach out, if it's the council's pleasure, being that this or that, if I can speak to what's been requested, if you all think that's okay and appropriate, okay.
It's the public's tax dollars, not just ours, so if we're about to spend those public tax dollars and spend another 25,000 for due diligence, I think it should be public knowledge. But I'm also one of 11.
I'll agree with you. You're two of them.
You want to share what was
I can share what was
at the meeting,
asked.
green space
Because,
discussed?
it was discussed. It was discussed in public at the green
Yeah.
space meeting. It's going to be a part of our published minutes tomorrow.
Right.
1.1.
1.1?
Okay. Any other questions before we take a vote?
It's a lot less than I thought it was going to be, I'm not going to lie.
Before we take a vote, I'd like for you to go over the slide on the funding as of July 6, 2026, too.
Sure.
Show that slide. It was in the packet, but just to make sure all of council is aware.
Right name slide. Well, that was our July 6th update. And we did it for our Friday meeting, so it was good timing. So we put that in the packet.
And it's in the
for-
packet. It's in our packet.
Yeah, it's in the packet.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, well, it's not coming up, so that's okay.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there it is. It's just being,
Yep, so we
Slow.
just updated that, so I can, if there's anybody, it's the same format, it's the same thing we do. If you scroll down, though, I think most importantly, that the approximate funding available is probably your biggest one. So these projects that you're approving for due diligence now, that would be a part of that approximate funding available. So for instance, if you were to approve the due diligence on both these projects, we would then move the estimated costs, because we don't know it purely, under the approximate other project funding, and that would come from that. Once something is approved by council, it just keeps moving up. Then it goes to an allocated funding.
any questions on that?
This doesn't include the minimum 20 million we're getting back from the piece of property in Bluffton. Because
That's right.
So technically, there's another 20 million that should be reverting back in 3 years.
That, as well as if you look under expended project funding, how it says that's the 6 million reimbursable grant too, that we're currently working on that right now, so that we would get that 6 million back. The 6 million would come off the 30 and then go down to approximate funding available again.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, all right. You had a motion and a second. All in favor? For due diligence?
Persuaded me, I'll give you that.
All right, I don't know how our Zoom members voted, but.
There they go.
Okay.
Abs
All right,
on
it was unanimous. All right, thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. All right, next on our agenda is a ordinance. I'll read this. This is 11B. 2026-28 is the ordinance amending the Beaufort County Ordinance, Chapter 102, Waterways, Article 1, Sections 102-1, Definitions, Article 2, Division 1, Section 102-27, Purpose, Section 102-28, Penalties, Section 102-29, General prohibits, Section 102-30 dock rules, Section 102-31 landing rules, Division 2, Section 102-61 description, Division 3, Section 102-95 description, Sections 102-98 penalties, Section 102-99 general prohibitions, Section 102-100 dock rules, Section 102-101 landing rules, Article 3, Section 102-133 definitions, Section 102-134 penalties, Section 102-136 student riders, Section 102-137 public ridership. The vote at Public Facilities Committee on May 18th was 8-0. The voting at first reading on May 26th at council was 10-0. The vote at second reading and public hearing on June 8th, 2026 was 11-0. And the vote at third reading and public hearing on June 22nd, 2026 was 11-0. We need a motion to
I'll
approve.
make the motion.
Second.
All right, thank you. Councilman Lawson and Councilman Bartholomew, any discussion?
A question?
Yes, sir?
Is there a provision, and this may have to go to the staff, I don't know if anyone on council has the answer, is there a provision in this waterways bill, since there were some amendments in the past, that gives the code enforcement officers who will be enforcing this ordinance, to give them the ability to make a visual confirmation by the vessel that's being used, whether or not the owner of the vessel operating on the waterways has a business license and the required insurance. Is there any way in this ordinance that that can be visually established by a code enforcement officer who's working at the public boat landings?
I don't believe there's a provision in this ordinance that covers that scenario, no, sir.
Was there a provision in it in the past?
The permitting provision that was previously a part that was then removed could have been formulated in such a way that Public Works could have worked something like that into existence, but it wasn't mandated by the language, so it was possible but not mandated.
Okay, so if that's the case, how will, the question then floats out, how will a code enforcement officer know when working in the public boat landings, whether or not people who are working on the commercial waterways with a retail operation actually have a business license and the required insurance? How would they know?
So realistically, I think it would be our folks on the ground at the landings making spot checks and responding to calls and issues as they typically would. There is some thought that, they may be privy to, through the business licensing, some sort of vessel information, but I think realistically speaking, it's going to have to be the nuts and bolts of on the ground enforcement as opposed to being able to do it from a distance as you suggest.
So if there are 25 boats coming in there picking up passengers and doing a variety of other things, there's no visual decal that we could provide to the vessel so that the code enforcement officer would know immediately whether or not that vessel and its captain are in compliance with our ordinance?
Not pursuant to the amendments made to this ordinance. I can't say that we couldn't formulate something like that as a part of another avenue, but that's not contained under this ordinance, I would say.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. Madam Chairman, I'd like to, if we can, make an amendment to this ordinance, please.
Okay, do you have it ready for which one?
I do. It's simply a motion requiring that the Business License Bureau issue a decal of some kind that can be affixed to a vessel operating on the waterways so that the code enforcement officer can visually establish whether or not that vendor is in compliance with our regulations requiring a business license and required insurance.
Do we have a second?
Second.
A second, yeah.
All right, we had a second by, I heard Councilman Reed's first. Any discussion?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir?
The whole point of us removing this on the second reading was because of the start of the government overreach. Was it the third reading? Thank you. Well, it's been postponed so many times, it's hard to keep track. But that was the whole point of removing this to begin with, is the Coast Guard already does this. They already have to have their license. They carry the documentation. So if they're in violation of any of the rules or orders, then that's when they get pulled over and show that documentation. That's no different than us sitting in a parking lot and somebody saying I got to show my driver's license and insurance when I didn't commit a crime. So I will not support that. We already have the rules and regulations put in place. We've put this thing through the ringer for over a year. We finally came to a consensus at the last meeting when it overwhelmingly got removed the first time, and there's no reason to go down this path again.
All right. Any other discussion? Yes.
Yeah,
Council-
I thought at the last meeting was the third reading, and not expecting us to have to do this again. So again, I apologize, my phone's.
Not even sure how it came back.
Yeah, it's back here again after we had a third reading and a
Correct.
final vote.
Yes, I can shed some light on that, which is just that out of an abundance of caution, the removal of that permitting procedure occurred at the final reading. To be sure that there's no argument to invalidate the ordinance moving forward, that was not a substantial change. The idea was to give another opportunity this evening to have a final reading based upon what was deemed potentially a substantial change by removing that permitting section at the end at the last time. So we're cut.
Where did that idea come from?
It was a question that was raised to staff as to whether that removal constituted a material change or a substantial change to the ordinance.
And we had the parliamentarian and the staff attorney review it.
If I may address that too, I looked at Robert's rules and our updated policies and procedure. There is language in our policy procedure. We've been operating under substantial change. However, in our own policies and procedure that we adopted, it does discuss substantial change or amendment. Ultimately, though, in Robert's rules as well, when you analyze that, it goes back into the chair's discretion of whether to move forward with another vote on this. There's an argument that could be made that removing that language was actually reverting it back to what it was presented at the first reading. However, like you said, out of the abundance of caution, it's coming back forth again. So,
Okay, so we have a motion and a
Chair-
second.
Well, based on discussion.
Yes.
Can I take my second away? Can I remove that?
Ooh.
Thank
can?
you.
Okay.
I'll do that.
All right, so we had a motion by Councilman McEllen. Do we have a second to his motion?
I second it.
All right, so York second his motion. All right, we need to vote on that motion, correct? All right. All right, does everyone understand what Councilman McEllen's motion is?
Yeah, I'm trying to, if I may just say, it's not a use permit, it's simply a decal to identify people are in compliance with our regulations regarding business license and insurance.
Okay, let's do a roll call vote, please, ma'am.
Councilmember McEllen,
Yes.
Councilmember Glover,
Yes.
Councilmember Reeds,
No.
Councilmember Passament,
Yes.
Councilmember Lawson,
Mark Lawson, no.
Councilmember Dawson,
Yes.
Councilmember Cunningham,
No.
Councilmember Brown,
No.
Councilmember Bartholomew,
no.
Chair Howard.
No.
The motion fails 6-4.
And now we go back to the original ordinance. And we have a motion?
Yeah, there was a motion.
There was a
second on the floor.
motion. Any discussion of the original ordinance we've discussed? All right, do we need a
I
roll?
have a question.
Yes,
I
sir.
have a question.
Yes, sir, Councilman Dawson.
To Larry's point in his motion, will our code enforcement be able to actually request the verification of these documents as it is written?
To request the verification of the insurance and business license documents. That would get into a question of reasonable suspicion and other things of that nature when it comes to code enforcement. So they would be able to proceed under their code enforcement authority to the extent permitted by law, is the answer to that question.
Does that answer your question, Councilman Dawson? Or,
I'm not sure.
okay.
Essentially, they'd be able to take the same code enforcement action as they do with other ordinances that they enforce, so they wouldn't change anything there. But as to inspections, that gets a little fact intensive, and it's a case-by-case basis.
Okay, original ordinance, when we're ready to vote on that, all in favor? Do we need a roll call vote? I probably would. All right, let's do a roll call vote.
Councilmember Lawson,
Mark Lawson, yes.
Councilmember Bartholomew,
Yes.
Councilmember Reeds,
Yes.
Councilmember Passament,
Yes.
Councilmember McEllen,
No.
Councilmember Glover,
Yes.
Councilmember Dawson,
Yes.
Councilmember Cunningham,
Yes.
Yes.
Chair Howard.
Yes,
The motion passes 9-1.
thank you, I appreciate it. This has been longer than a lot of things we've done. Yes, sir.
Thank you,
Like you're
Dylan.
still owed dinner.
Thank you, Dylan.
Thank you, Dylan.
Gentlemen,
Thank you for.
I
Good
hope
evening.
not. I really hope not. Hopefully
All
I'll
right.
see you on the water.
All right, next, under our ordinances for second reading, these are all second readings with no public hearing. The public hearing will be at third reading. The first one is 2026-37, an ordinance authorizing the abandonment of a county maintenance of a portion of Gibson Drive following petition by adjacent property owners and reclassifying said portion as a private road. The vote at Public Facilities Committee on June 15, 2026 was 8-0. The vote at first reading on June 22nd, 2026 was 11-0. Do we have a motion to?
Moved.
Thank you, Councilman Passament.
I'll second it.
And a second by Councilman Lawson. Any discussion? All in favor, by show of hands? All right, and that is unanimous. All right, 2026-38, an ordinance to amend ordinance 2017-12 to appropriate funds from the 2017 Series General Obligation Bond to Station 34, Joint Fire EMS Station. The vote at Finance Administration and Economic Development Committee on June 15, 2026 was 7-0. The vote at first reading on June 22nd, 2026 was 11-0. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilman Cunningham
Second.
and a second by Councilman Passament. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Great, all right. Number 12C is 2026-39, an ordinance to amend fiscal year 2027 budget ordinance to carry forward purchase orders and funds from fiscal year 2026 and prior for projects that have not been completed. The vote at Finance, Administration, and Economic Development Committee on June 15th, 2026 was 7-0. The vote at first reading on June 22nd, 2026 was 11-0. Do we have a motion to approve this?
So moved.
Thank you, Councilman Passament. Do we have a second?
A second.
Second by Councilman Glover. Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor? All right. And now, 12D, 2026-40, an ordinance to reallocate remaining American Rescue Plan Act, or ARPA funds in the amount of $1,496,825.73 toward existing projects as obligated to the Department of Treasury. The vote at the Finance, Administration, and Economic Development Committee on June 15th, 2026 was 7-0. The vote at the first reading on June 22nd, 2026 was 11-0. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
All right, and do we have a second?
A second.
And a second by Councilman Glover. I had a question about the water work that was listed as one of the things that hadn't been obligated, I think in Gerald Dawson's district. Is that going to happen? Do we know?
But that was completed.
I'm sorry.
Which one? The water and sewer?
Yes. It was ARPA money.
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about, Councilman Dawson?
yeah, that's the water line to the chemical, old chemical site.
Oh, okay. Is that still
That
in?
project's moving forward as far as I know.
It's still going to move forward? Okay.
Yeah.
That was my only
Beaufort,
question.
Jasper Water and Sewers.
Okay.
Yeah.
We won't lose that project. It'll still be, we can still do it, correct?
I think that was the project for,
I mean, it's still there. I just didn't know if it was going to be done, if it was going to be implemented.
As far as I know, that project's on track, but I'll double check with Beaufort
Okay.
Jasper.
All right. Any other questions about the ARPA projects that are left and the money? No? Okay. All right. We had a motion and a second. All in favor? And that is unanimous. Is there any other business?
No.
No? All right. It's time to adjourn. Thank you.
Madam Chairman, if we're gonna get out early like this, we'll come over here and move on.